and welcome to my live stream of Liverpool's FA Cup quarter-final draw. Sorry that I'm a couple of minutes late. It's been a hell of a fiasco getting back here, but I'm here now. As you can see, I've got the headphones on this time for a change, because obviously I can't really be playing TNT Sports over my live stream for obvious reasons, because I'd get sued. So yeah, I'm just watching the draw now. Nothing appears to be happening. TNT late as per usual.com. Let me have a look. Does it appear to be anything happening at the minute? Presumably it will be on in a couple of seconds. So, but yes, I will just keep you entertained for now. Yes, those of you watching for a Liverpool persuasion, very, very strange day today. We got news. I've actually just missed Arne Slot's press conference, so I'm not sure what's happening yet, but we got news that basically Alisson Becker, you've got to love the seas, don't you? Alisson Becker is injured and will not be fit to face Galatasaray, unfortunately. And Fede Chiesa, surprise, surprise, is also injured. Yay, brilliant, wonderful. So yes, we've just lost another two players. So obviously it goes without saying, Mamardashvili will be keeping goal for us tomorrow. Look, you don't buy a goalkeeper for nearly 40 million quid if he's not going to be a starter eventually. So Mamardashvili's been okay this season. I don't think he's been anything spectacular. I don't think he's been horrendously good either. He's just been competent and solid. It means we'll have to pay a bit of a different way eventually, but Mamardashvili is like what, 20, what is he, 23 years old? So he's going to be around for a long, long time, basically. Let me just have a look. I'm trying to watch the TNT draw. Let me just have a look. Yes. But yeah, Mamardashvili will come in. Obviously, so obviously it's a huge blow, but it's not an absolute disaster. I don't know how long Ali's out for. I've not seen the presser yet, so I don't know how long. Well, I don't even know what the injury is, to be honest. So I'll try and look for that for you later. I know that McAllister was. Oh dear, TNT Sports, useless as usual. I know Maka was doing the other half of the press conference. So I don't know what's been said yet. I'm assuming. I'm assuming Maka's fit to play, given the fact that he was doing the presser. I don't know if Arne's announced anything else. I'm literally going to go on the Liverpool Echo as soon as this draw's been done. And the draw is still not going on. Does anyone else out there hate TNT Sports? Honestly, they're so just bloody useless, basically. I'm just going to go on BBC in case I am missing it for some point. No, it doesn't look like it's going on just yet. I think it's meant to be 7:05 anyway, so I'll just keep an eye out. It should be any second now, theoretically. Let's have a look. Callie said boo. OMG. Hi, my name is Callie. Hi, Callie. You all right? How you doing? Nice for you to come on the stream. I support Liverpool. I support Liverpool as well. Check it out. Yeah, thanks for joining the stream, Callie. I'm keeping an eye on the FA Cup draw now. I'm gonna try and look at stuff that happened in the press conference as well. I've just come back from work basically, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened at the presser. But I'll let you know if anything's changed. But basically, Chiesa's injured and Alisson Becker is also injured. So yeah, brilliant start to the day as per usual. Let's have a look. Minecraft is the best. My name is Leighton. Hi Leighton, you all right? My lad who is downstairs is a massive Minecraft fan. We saw the film together actually. It was really cool. There were loads of kids basically. I'm trying to think when it was. There were loads of kids dancing at that scene in the film where that thing called the chicken jockey, whatever it is, comes out. And yeah, my son was sat there dancing. They were all singing some sort of song, and I'm sat there with the rest of the adults going, I don't know what is going on here, but yeah, no, it was very, very cool actually. Really enjoyed that. But yes, no, he's a massive Minecraft fan, basically. In fact, he'll probably be playing Minecraft now on his tablet. He's got the whatever it is, the Minecraft tablet thing. I don't know what it is, but he makes worlds. Anyway, let me have a look. Oh, are we doing something? I think we might be doing something, guys. Yeah, right. They're doing the draw any second now. Let's have a look. YTD said, hi, YTD, you're all right. Do you like 6-7? Because I do not. I'm not a massive fan of it, Callie, to be honest. My son, basically, I'm lucky if he doesn't say it every single 2 minutes. It's just incredibly infuriating. Right, they are. So it's TNT, it's Ali McCoist, and I forget the main commentator's name. Oh God, what's his name? Nottingham Forest fan. Anyway, yeah, they're doing the draw. Hopefully, any second. Right, Joe Cole and Joe Hart are doing the draw. It literally looks like Bilbo Baggins next to Sauron. They're doing the draw at West Ham, actually, because West Ham are playing Brentford tonight. So, right, basically as well, actually, because where are my manners? Who have we got? We have Southampton, Port Vale, Manchester City, Leeds United. I live in Leeds, so no thank you. Arsenal, Liverpool, we're ball number 6. Chelsea and West Ham. I mean, obviously. Oh, here we go. Right, Arsenal, Southampton. Right, this is in the first one. So it's Southampton versus Arsenal. So we haven't got Arsenal. That's a good start. Just running a bit behind. I have 6 siblings. How many sons do you have? I've just got the one, Callie. One little son. Get on with it. Right, let me just grab my tea. Southampton Arsenal so far. Oh, thank you, Callie. That's very, very nice of you. Cheers. Thank you very much. Of course, my internet decides to crap out now. Right, I'm just reloading it, folks, because just at the last minute, my internet has decided to throw me off, which is not helpful at all. Right, let me get back onto BBC. Right, we've got Arsenal, Chelsea versus Port Vale. Manchester City versus Liverpool. Couldn't write if you tried. Yes, thanks. Spreading kindness is my job. Oh, thank you, Callie. Well, that is very, very kind of you. Right then, folks. Well, to continue the theme of the day, that was a complete unmitigated disaster because we have Manchester City away from home. Yeah. Yeah. I honestly do not believe that draw. Literally, that is, other than Arsenal, that is the worst draw that we possibly could have got. Hilariously, by the way, Chelsea have managed to get Port Vale, Southampton have managed to get Arsenal, and my hometown Leeds United have got either West Ham or Brentford. And we've got Manchester City. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I mean, Christ almighty, we couldn't get a decision at the Etihad. Not the Etihad, at Anfield in front of our own supporters. What the hell are we going to get at their place? I mean, Christ almighty, there's barely any points to actually turning up. Like, I mean, they'll have like Formula One race cars, 30 or 40,000. I don't know. Dorja Mirari from Black Panther, trying to stop us from scoring. A couple of helicopters, maybe a sentinel. And yeah, that's before we even get beyond the halfway line. So yeah, if you wonder what I'm going to, I'm being slightly sarcastic. I was not hugely impressed with the. I wasn't hugely impressed with the officiating with Manchester City and Arsenal 6 weeks ago. It is fair to say. In fact, I was livid beyond words, but still, never mind. Yeah, I know, Callie. Yeah, we've got Man City, unfortunately. Sakana, hi Sakana, you all right? Man, true one. You're a true one, man. Oh, thank you, Sakana. That's very, very nice of you, do. Very, very nice of you. For anyone that's just joined late, just to say that we have just been drawn against Manchester City, away from home. Not even Anfield, away from home. I mean, bye bye FA Cup, basically. I was really hoping, no offence, that we were going to get Port Vale or Southampton. Just because this is probably going to be my last chance to get a ticket for the rest of the season. Because I mean, tickets now are going to be like gold dust. I mean, I don't live a million miles away from Manchester. I suppose I could go in the away end, in the home end, and just like wear some nondescript clothes and basically pretend I'm a Man City fan, but seeing as people have now seen this, that's probably not the best idea I've ever had in the world. So yeah, but yeah, folks. Basically, long story short, Liverpool have Manchester City away from home. You could not write that if you bloody well tried. So just a couple of things, basically. I'm going to make this very brief because I try not to do politicky stuff on the channel. I can't try and keep it fun. I try and keep it light, all that business. Some of you Liverpool fans out there, and you've probably seen some stuff on the channel. I think one or two of you might look at my Substacks and Reddits and stuff like that, and social media. So if you do, you would have heard me say this. And there's not many people watching, so I'll say this and then probably head off. And in fact, I'll go through the press conference and any other bits and pieces, but just need to get this off my chest. So yesterday, I woke up to the news because basically I woke up in the afternoon. I won't go into it, but it was very long like the previous day before. So I wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to discover that Liverpool Football Club and Manchester United Football Club have basically got in contact along with the British government with a certain organisation called X. And if you've seen the thumbnail to what you're watching, you'll know where I'm going with this one. Apparently, a certain gentleman who you may know called Elon Musk has invented something called grok. Now, I'm an old man. I don't know what a grok is, basically. A grok to me is like some balding 6'5" defender who comes in and boots people up in the air. That was what a grok used to be. But now it's this thing where you can, allegedly, I don't know, I'm not one of the young people, but basically, allegedly, you can ask grok to essentially basically make anything in the world that you want. So I'm assuming it's like the inverse of like that GTP or whatever it's called. Is it chat GTP? So seriously, I'm an old man. I don't know what these things are. Anyway, long story short, in this country, we've had, if you're from England, loads of complaints recently about this grok thing being used for. I'll have to be careful in case there's children watching this, that, and the other. So parents, if there's any parents who have got me on the minute and you've got kiddies about, just hold their hands to their ears. But this grok thing, allegedly, for obvious reasons, I've not seen it as a parent and I have no interest in seeing it whatsoever, allows certain people to produce images, obscene images of children and of women in certain situations that I'm not going to describe because I think it's beyond revolting as a parent. Mr. Musk was asked to get rid of the Grok thing. He's currently being investigated for it, I believe. He's already come out and said it's woke. Which, look, I'm not woke. I'm not right wing. I'm not left wing. I'm just a dad. And I don't expect to be called woke by some little weirdo for the fact that he's built a machine that can allow you to access paedophilia. I'm sorry to have to say that word. I do apologise, but there's no way I can describe it basically without saying the word, right? So we're all caught up. And yesterday, I woke up to the news that some idiot, I don't know his name, I don't want to know his name, but I hope he's going to be in His Majesty's pleasure, has basically used this wretched grok thing to I mean, I can barely believe I'm saying this. I really can barely believe I'm saying this. I'll get to the comments in a minute, folks. Just let me get this off my chest because I'm boiling about this, to be honest. To insult the victims of the Munich air disaster, Hillsborough survivors, which, as Liverpool fans, we were all used to this. We shouldn't have to get used to this, but look, we've all been there. We all know what these scumbags sing at our football club, and I'd say the same thing to anyone singing to Manchester United fans, including Liverpool fans, by the way. You don't make fun of a load of people dying in an aeroplane. Look, I despise Manchester United more than most Liverpool fans, but that is the football club. I mean, I certainly don't wish harm on their supporters. I don't wish harm on the players, and that isn't woke. That's just being a law-abiding human being. I mean, and if you have the opposite view of that, you are, well, basically neither, as far as I'm concerned. Same thing with what Leeds United get chanted to them. Same thing as Leeds United doing the aeroplane thing. To Manchester United fans, which I know a lot of Leeds fans, and I know they're thoroughly ashamed of that part of the fan base. Same thing as people doing the throat slit stuff about Loftus and Spate that dies and Galatasaray, all that business. If you basically do tragedy chanting of any kind, and I include Liverpool fans who have done the Munich thing, you are a little bitch, basically. I try not to swear, but to quote Gunther, you are a little bitch. Anyway, long story short, the gentleman's been forced to issue a retraction, and basically has been forced to remove these images. Again, go and do your own research. I have seen the things that have been written. I have seen some of the images. I don't wish to see them ever again because they are revolting, and I wouldn't expect a filthy animal that lived in a bloody stable to come out with such revolting nonsense. Don't worry. Old man's nearly finished blowing his top. There's just one more thing I'm going to say. Elon Musk, not that you will ever see this, and not that you're going to care about some 45-year-old fat black lad from South Leeds living in a rented house, trying to support his missus and his son, barely enough money to pay the bills, all that business, and you can have all the money in the world that you want, sweetheart, all the money in the world. You can have everyone in the world loving you and kissing your ass, right? I am worth, and I'm not worth a great deal, but I am worth 1 million of you, sweetheart. I wouldn't trade anything in my life for any amount of money that you've got, because you are a little piece of shit. If I had a mic, I'd drop it. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to get it off my chest. I do apologise for anyone who's watching. As you know, I do try and keep the swearing to a minimum. Apologise if anyone was offended, but at the end of the day, look, I am not having people insulting my football club. Look, I don't mind banter. Banter's fine. Always cheating, same old Scousers, blah, blah, blah. All that business is fine. It's not a problem at all. I don't mind giving banter back and taking some banter. That's absolutely fine. When it's tragedy chanting and making fun of, like, I mean, the Feed the Scousers thing, I mean, seriously, how old are you? I don't want to pick Leicester out, but They are ones who, not all their fan base. Obviously, I used to live in Derby, and I know there's some really good Leicester City fans out there, and they've had their own issues in the past and stuff. Obviously, with what happened with their chairman, and they've had similar experiences. And it's not me having a go at Leicester, but they have been one of the ones recently who have. And I mean, again, that just astonishes me because, like, look, with the greatest respect, I used to live in Derby. I'm trying to think of a polite way of saying this. Leicester is not Derby. I'll just leave it at that. Look, basically, top and bottom of it, folks, is Elon Musk is a piece of shit. I hope that wretched cesspool platform of his is banned from this country. It ain't about censorship. It's not about freedom of speech. All that. At the end of the day, the bloke has an application called Grok, which allows people, if they wish to make indecent images of little boys and little girls for their own sexual gratification. I'm sorry to say that on the live stream, but that's basically what it's being used for. And if you agree with Elon Musk that is freedom of speech, the only thing I can really say to you, to be honest, is, and I'm someone that suffered with mental health, so I don't say this lightly, you need to go and see a doctor. You need to go and see a doctor or a therapist, or potentially even hand yourself into a Majesty's pleasure for other people's safety. Because if you agree with some idiot who thinks he owns Great Britain, which he doesn't because he's South African, quite why he's getting involved in our politics, I don't know. But if you agree with him having a machine that makes indecent images of little girls, then you're a pretty sick little word that I'm not going to say. Anyway, mic drop. So yeah, if anyone wants to come at me for if you're an Elon Musk fanboy, you go right ahead, because you will get burnt. Simple as that. Anyway, that was yeah, I needed to get that off my chest, so sorry about that, folks. Right, let me have a look at the comments because I am being extremely rude. Let's have a look. What did Elon Musk do? Hi Finn, you all right? Yeah, basically, Finn, what I've just said, I'm not going to repeat myself, and like I said, I apologize about using bad language. I don't like to use it traditionally if I can help it, as you know, but like, I hope I've put across as to what he's basically said to Liverpool, Manchester United fans. And if anyone says it's nothing to do with Elon Musk, it's the machine he built, well, thank you for proving my point. Because I have heard that argument already. It's like, Elon didn't make the comments, it's the machine that he owns. It's like, yeah, it's his fault, dipshit. What the hell are you on about? You know what I mean? So, yeah, basically, Finn, that's what happened. Like I said, I know obviously you're quite young, and there might be some young people, so I don't want to worry you with anything. But as a father, I think, I mean, to invent something like that is revolting, vile, and disgusting, as far as I'm concerned. And how that platform has not been shut down when it has the capability, and I know a lot of you will use Twitter and a lot of you won't use it for that. And look, I used to be on Twitter, and it's a good thing to, you know, have some banter on this, that, and the other, but it's just got to the point where, like, look, and people say it's freedom of speech. Ain't freedom of speech some random woman who was jailed up until about 5 months ago, asking people to go and burn people's children to death in hotels. And you know who I'm on about. I ain't going to say the woman's name. I don't want to get too political, but I stand on that. At the end of the day, it's a disgrace that she has actually been allowed out into polite society. And I think she's a thug, and I would have her jailed as soon as look out. Anyway, I had a football game today. Oh, nice one, Callie. Nice one. You're not fat. That's nice for you to say, Callie, but yeah, I am a big fat man. It's just one of these, you know what I mean? I used to hate being called that as a kid, but you know what I mean? You just grow up, and it's just like, people come on your live stream like, you're fat, and you're like, well spotted. Do you know what colour I am, or do you need like a kaleidoscope or something? You'll have to excuse me, I'm in a slightly sarcastic mood today. Let's have a look. I do not agree with him. Hey mate, been enjoying Dan. Hi Cardi, you all right? Hey mate, been enjoying Danhausen. Also, did you see the ruckus after the old firm? That was the first time Celtic have had a full away allocation. It's ruined already. I did see it, Cardi. Yeah, well, sorry everyone with the comments. Let me try and I won't race through them because that's rude. Let me try and go through. Yeah, hi Cardi. Yeah, I saw the Rangers Celtic film there. I mean, look, I mean, again, obviously, I know you're in that world, and I'm not going to say anything about. Look, it's none of my business what goes on with Rangers Celtic from a religious perspective. I'm going to be tactful and not say anything because that's none of my business. It's I don't know enough about the subject to make comments, nor would I say anything so disrespectful about religion because it's religion at the end of the day. But at the same time, what I would say is, Cardi, you can't have people. Look, we've all seen tear ups at football matches, outside football matches, and if it, I'm not going to say it's acceptable if it's just a couple of lads having a punch up. But I mean, look, we've all seen it in town. We've all been young. Your boy has been involved in the odd dalliance about 30 years ago, but we'll ignore that. It happens, you know what I mean. But I mean that yesterday, you can't be having fellas running onto the field trying to spark footballers. I mean, obviously, I know they do stringent security checks, if I can get the word out, mate, at like Celtic and Rangers for obvious reasons, and they'll do with like I'm assuming they'll do it with Hibernian and Hearts, and just like they'll do for Arsenal, Tottenham, or I don't know, Atleti versus Real Madrid, blah 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 blah. But all it takes is one fella to waltz in and have, let's say, for argument's sake, a nail file in the back of his phone case next to the phone. Who's going to see that? All it takes is one person literally to go, and then you've got a disaster. So, look, obviously, I can understand the Rangers fans not being best pleased, and I can understand the Celtic fans being euphoric. But whoever was running on the pitch, I'm sorry, but it's completely unacceptable because at the end of the day, as well, it's like, look, I don't want to keep being Father Leon. There's little kiddies in that stadium. I mean, if you're a father or a mother condoning that sort of thing, would you like a load of people storming into your house and scaring your children half to death? Probably not. I mean, yeah, it's really really poor. Like I said, I'm not going to touch on the supposed alleged sectarian stuff. That's none of my business whatsoever. That's for Rangers and Celtic fans to discuss. It's nothing to do with me. But in general, what I'm saying is, there's no place for that in football. There's no place for it in society. And again, it's not being woke. It's just being a human being. And I don't want to see little children getting murdered in football stadiums. Basically. Callie, I had a football match today. Nice one, Callie. Bag of Plenty. Hi, Geek Boy Meta. Hello, Bag of Plenty. That's a very cool name, by the way. Shark, remember me? Of course I do, Shark. Yeah, we spoke a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, mate? How are you? You all right? Gardy, for me, it's a police issue. It's hard to explain, but I don't think you can underestimate. It's beyond football, Celtic and Rangers fans. They should have been repaired for it. Well, yeah, that's the thing, Cardi, because I thought, obviously, correct me if you can, but I was under the impression that away fans were like the first I heard of it was about 5 years ago. It might have been longer than that. I don't know, because obviously, away from the 90s, and like I remember Rangers and Celtic fans going to Ibrox and Celtic Park like back in the day, and well, I wouldn't say it always kicked off, but like you used to hear stories down south, and you were like, "What is going on up there?" And yeah, but that was just how the 90s was, you know what I mean? And then I want to say the ban came in about, was it 5 or 6 years ago or something like that, and the last I heard there were no fans in any stadiums. Then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, they've lifted the ban. It's like, yeah. Like I'm not sure whether, look, I mean, honestly, to be honest, Cardi, you'd know better than me, mate, but you shouldn't have to be banning two sets of football fans from sitting in a football stadium. But you have to be cognizant and you have to be mindful and respectful of what is involved when Celtic play Rangers. Now, look, I mean, I live in Leeds, I mean, I could have told you that that not was perhaps not necessarily the best of ideas. Especially when you got people. I mean, I don't know what time was the match yesterday. Was it about 1 o'clock, 1, 2 o'clock or something? I mean, it's like, oh yeah, we have it early so that people can't get tanks up, and it's just like, what are you on about? Look, just as a thing, Cardiff, to be honest, I live in Leeds, and I can tell you there are lads around here. If they're going to, let's say, if it's Leeds versus Millwall, and it's like, I don't know, 12:30 kick off here, it's category A. Those lads will be out all night the previous night. Some of them, and I don't want to get some of my fellow Northerners in trouble who live around the corner, but um, I've been out when I've been looking after my son to get fresh air and have some cup of tea on a Sunday morning, and it's been like 7 o'clock. And I've seen Leeds United fans, when they've played Millwall, waltzing down to Welland Road at 10 to 7 in the morning with 6 packs and 24 packs of beer. So this whole thing of like, oh yeah, I mean, the fans won't drink. It's just like, oh, God bless you. I mean, you just like, seriously, what are you, 7 or something? But yeah, I don't know, Cardi. It's just, I actually thought, to be honest, because I can't promise anything, but I might be going to the Liverpool Galatasaray game. Possibly, I can't promise, so don't quote me on that. I actually thought, I actually had to do like a, not a double take, what's the word I'm looking for? Had to suddenly think, do I want to be putting myself in that situation? Because again, obviously, I'm a Leeds-born lad, and you don't want to tar all Galatasaray fans with the same brush. But obviously, a lot of us in this country know what happened to Loftus and Spate, the 2 Leeds fans that were basically stabbed to death in Turkey. And I'm not speaking for all Leeds United fans, but let me put it this way: there are a lot of Leeds fans who will be supporting Liverpool tomorrow, and Leeds fans don't particularly like Liverpool as it is, but they obviously hate Galatasaray. And I mean, it has occurred to me. I mean, like, because I mean, to be honest, a lot of these things, I know I sound like really, really weird, but I actually go to a lot of these things on my own because I'm like a vlogger. And I know it sounds really awful and like antisocial and everything, but it's easier for me to do a lot of these things on my own as opposed to going with mates, because obviously if you've got mates, they want to like go straight to the pub, whereas I want to do live streams and so on and so forth and get the goals and blah blah blah. So a lot of Liverpool matches I actually go to on my own. I go with my brother quite a bit, um but yeah, no, it actually gave me cause for thinking, do I want to be putting myself in that sort of danger? And then you think to yourself, well, I mean, I'm going to a football match. But then again, there were, I mean, you'll have to excuse me, I don't know how many people that died in the Bradford fire from Bradford City. God rest their souls. It was 40, what was it, 41 years this year or last year. I'm sure they didn't think they were just going to a football match, but sometimes, and it's Celtic and Rangers, obviously what happened with the stairs collapsing and everything. You get these tragedies, sadly. But yeah, there you go. I know you remember me, boy. Yes, I do remember you, Shark. How you doing? Logan, yes, hello, Logan. We got you at home. Yes, Logan. I'll just get this out of the way. Congratulations for the 4-0 win to Manchester City. Now, I'm just going to be honest, folks. Look, I am not the most positive Liverpool fan in the world, and Manchester City at the minute will tear it. Pardon the expression, but to use an Americanism, Manchester City will tear us a new arsehole at the Etihad. I can't remember the last time we even won at the Etihad. Oh, actually, no, I tell a lie. It was the Sobo one when we won the league. Sobo and Salah when they did that short corner routine. But I mean, in general, I mean, bloody, I've been a Liverpool fan for, how long have I supported Liverpool for? About 34, 35 years, something like that. I think I've seen us win at Manchester City about 8 times in that time. This was before Man City got the money, by the way. This isn't like, oh, we used to beat them regularly. No, we would lose at like Main Road. I can remember, for some of the older people out there, when Juve Rosler scored the winner against us. It was like a 2-1 just after we won the League Cup in 1995. Yes, that's how old I am. But at that stage, it was like the League Cup was. I'm trying to think what the League Cup would be the equivalent to now for young people. basically, if you won the League Cup in 1995, you were like the man, if you could believe it. Basically, it's probably the rough equivalent for young people now of your team winning the Europa League and getting a Champions League play. It's not exactly the same because obviously you've got Champions League place, but literally, I won the League Cup. The day after Liverpool won the League Cup, I went to Woodland School in Derby. Shout out Woodland School. Shout out to all the bullying, by the way. I hope you're having miserable lives. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why I just said that for. Any hoodle doodle. When I walked in school the next day after we beat Bolton, and this is second division Bolton, by the way. This wasn't Premier League Bolton of like Sam Allardyce. We won the League Cup in 1995, and literally, I might as well have been royalty walking into that lunchroom. There were like people like literally coming up to me and going, oh, "How does it feel?" And it's just like, fine, thanks. What's going on? I mean, you have to bear in mind I lived in Derby. Bless them, they weren't exactly needing to wash out the trophy cabinet every season. Put it that way. But yeah, why on earth was I telling you that stuff? Oh, yeah, slogan. So yeah, look, I have more chance of being voted Miss Teen Yorkshire than Liverpool winning against Manchester City. So I wouldn't worry, Logan, in the slightest. In fact, to tell you what, I'll do a prediction. Probably because I've just come from work and not feeling too positive. I'll say Manchester City 5, Liverpool 1. There we go. Yes. Please drop insults if you would like. Gary Kemp. Oh, yo, LFC. Hi, JJ Winger. How you doing? You all right? Up the Reds. Especially after what I've just said. This was the first time Celtic had full Ibrox allocation, which is 7,500. All right, okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, sorry, Cardi, I beg your pardon. It was lowered, not completely thingy, wasn't it? Obviously angered the home crowd who took it to the pitch to chase them off. Let's have a look. They shouldn't have been able to reach the pitch in the first place. I completely agree, mate. Completely agree. And you're right. And it's not only alcohol at these games. People go out expects the fuck. Well, yeah, exactly, Cardi. I don't know. It's probably because perhaps we're a bit older than the younger generation, but like, I still can't get my head right. I don't know if you've got this where you are, but sorry, I'm just trying to get on this press conference because I want to talk about that in a minute. I'm trying to think of my equivalent. So when I was in Derby, and I used to live there, I could just about get away with wearing a Liverpool shirt. Just about get away with wearing a Liverpool shirt. You did not wear a Nottingham Forest shirt or a Leicester City shirt in that city on a Saturday. Otherwise, you would end up in the DRI, which was Derby Royal Infirmary. And look, I know, obviously, again, I've just said I'm not condoning that, but sorry, kids, that's what happened in the 90s. You did not wear Oppo shirts and you were escorted by the police to the ground and then away from the ground. And there were bricks and all sorts and this, that going on. And that was just in Derby. That's just where I lived. When I first came to Leeds, I mean, like, I see Man United fans now just happily going into the pub. And look, I'm again, look, as much as I don't like Man United, look, Man United fans should be able to go and watch a football game in Leeds without fear for their own safety. Totally agree with that because it's totally uncalled for. However, when I was 20 in this city, bear in mind this is 26, 27 years ago, and I feel really bad for saying this, I've seen a Man United fan get sparked as soon as he's walked into, I won't say the pub, but those of you who know Headingley, if you go opposite the original Oak, you will know the bar that I'm making reference to. Anyway, yeah, to be fair, look, and not to be fair, obviously you can't go around assaulting people, but this Man United fan comes in. This is 2001, so this lad's probably about 20. I don't know, my age, he'll be about 47 by now, something like that. Comes in, he's like, yeah, and he's got a London accent, and he's going, fucking Northerners and this, that, and the other, and doing W signs to the Leeds fans. The locals did not take kindly to this, to say the least, and basically this one fella. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny whatsoever. But this one fella takes a sip of his pint. And he's got his newspaper. Takes a sip of his pint. He folds up his newspaper. You know where I'm going with this. puts his newspaper down, walks up to this bloke. Bloke turns around and he's giving it the big one. And he's like, "What do you want, sweetheart?" Bloke literally just goes, knocked out, unconscious. Bloke literally goes back to it again. I'm trying not to, because it's not funny. And well, is it? No, it's not funny. You can't condone it. But the bloke literally then goes back to his seat. He doesn't even try to run off, and goes back to his pint and reopens his paper. And we're all sat there, because obviously I am from Yorkshire, but I lived in the Midlands for about 20 odd years, and I'm sat there. I don't know. I think I'm like 21 at the time, and a lot of the lads are Northerners I'm with, and I'm like, how long are we staying here for? And they're just like, "Oh, don't worry about it, lad. It'll be absolutely fine. Don't worry. Shall we get another pint? Yeah, cheers, Scott. Nice one." And I'm sat there going, "But that man just knocked the bloke out. He's on the floor, unconscious. What are we doing?" And like the barman eventually, literally was like, "Oh, for sake, hang on, I'll ring police. Get him to get him out of here." I'm just like, what is going? Honestly, I'm not making a word of that up. This is actually a literal. I don't know if anyone could corroborate me. I want to say it was about 2001, something along the lines. But look, the point is, because of that story, I'm still used to the back in the day rules, whereby, look, you just didn't like it. Put it this way: if I went to see the Leeds versus Liverpool match at the Boozer, I would just wear normal clothes. And out of respect, if Liverpool scored against Leeds, I did not cheer. Out of respect and also out of fear, because I didn't want my bottom handed to me on a silver plate. Basically, it's just common sense. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's just. But now I see. I mean, you go into look, there's an area of Leeds called Headingley. If you don't know Leeds, there's an area of Leeds called Headingley. It's like a version of the King's Bloody Road in London, basically. It's all fancy done students with like loads of money. Mum and dad's bought a Ferrari. Look, I'm being slightly disingenuous, but like basically a lot of rich students live there, basically. And you've got Real Madrid tops, you've got my top, you've got Man United tops, you've got Chelsea tops. You've got Man City, I don't know, Villa, Tottenham have started popping up, less so this season for obvious reasons. Arsenal, funnily enough, there's loads of Arsenal tops in Headingley at the minute. Can't imagine why, when there haven't hardly been any the last few years. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, you get the idea. And like back in the day, it was just Leeds United. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still got people who would go into the Boozer in home tops. Like, say if it was a Liverpool match and it was Liverpool versus Chelsea, because obviously Leeds United hate Chelsea, you'd be pretty much safe, because they'd want us to batter Chelsea basically. But like, I mean, you certainly didn't go into Chelsea's shop. I mean, it's a good thing, but like, yeah, it's still weird to me how it's changed. But hey ho, there you go. Anyway, Elisa girl, hi Elisa, how you doing? You all right? Stu Part is right lids turkey tomorrow. Might be a few scarces getting news one trip to Birds One store. Well, I certainly hope not, Stu Part. Chip Noah, hi Chip Noah, you all right? Rocking horse show is a better phrase, but one can hope. Well, yes, quite yes. Michael Whitaker, Liverpool getting knocked out of the FA Cup unlucky. Yeah, no, I don't agree. I don't agree. I completely agree, Michael. If you've come on looking for a Liverpool fan who's like, no, I completely agree. I've already said, by the way, Manchester City 5, Liverpool 1. I have no faith that we will do anything in that match of any kind whatsoever. Manchester City will rip us apart. I mean, the game that we played, look, I thought we deserved something in the last match against City. I don't know if we deserved to win, but I thought the effort the lads put in, I thought it was outrageous that they didn't get a draw. I won't go into the reasons, but I have my own opinion on the officiating in that particular match. However, the one at the Etihad, Manchester City tore us a new arsehole, and we were lucky it wasn't night. Simple as that. I'm not going to lie about it. They were better than us, and Manchester City have a better team than us in this season. Look, it's one of these. I know you're meant to defend your club and this, that, and the other, but I'm a straight shooter. I'm a working class lad, and I'm not going to sit here and lie. Manchester City are better than Liverpool. It's simple as that. The only Look, the only chance Liverpool have got. I mean, I don't know when that game is going to be played. In fact, I'll have a look on my laptop in a minute. I don't know when the game's going to be played, but the only possible chance Liverpool have got is if they take that match to extra time. And I know this sounds ridiculous, Michael, but I think the only chance we've got is trying to get it into a penalty shootout, which is a ridiculous thing to say, really. But I just don't. No, I just don't think it's practical. As I say, look, we've also got PSG. This is even if we get through against Galatasaray. And I mean, to be quite honest, after the last few performances, I don't even see that happening. It's probably because I have GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, which has you get depression and stuff like that. Look, I am not Mr. Cheery with this sort of thing, to say the least. And that, but just in general, I mean, I don't see us living with PSG. If it was Chelsea, if we got through Galatasaray, that's a coin toss. I don't think there's much difference between us and Chelsea this season, to be quite honest. Will we get in the top 5 again? I've just got something in the back of my head that says no. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we win the Champions League, the FA Cup, and finish second. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Interesting fact about derbies. The reason for the name is because of the Epsom Derby set up by the Earl of Derby, Edward Stanley, a prominent Knowsley family, Stanley Park near LFC named that. Oh, well, stupid. I did not know that, actually. I should know, knowing from being from the city that's actually named Derby. That makes a lot of sense now, to be fair. Let's have a look. Cardi, in Glasgow, you're not allowed football colours in any pub. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I've heard that from my brother Cardi, yeah. And the Rangers fans stay out of the Catholic associated pubs and vice versa. It's a shame that sectarian isn't going anywhere. Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, Cardi, look, out of respect, I don't ever comment on that because it's not my. Yeah, it's not me being like offensive, but look, I believe in being respectful to other people's cultures where and wherever I can do, and it's not my place to comment on those matters. At the same time, I don't want to see people getting hurt or worse because of a football match, essentially. So, look, it's one of these. Obviously, you've got to be mindful of other people's cultures, but it's a shame. But look, obviously, it's been going on for many years. I mean, we have not for the same reasons. Obviously, it's nowhere near, but I mean, we have it with Man United every single season. Yeah, I wouldn't entertain the idea of taking my son to a Liverpool versus Manchester United match at the minute, to be honest. I mean, the Liverpool Everton will always come together in the face of a tragedy, like Hillsborough and so on and so forth. But even that's got a bit out of hand the last few years. I mean, obviously we've got the first match at the Hill Dickinson, lol. Sorry, that was a cheap shot. So yeah, what was I trying to say? Obviously, we'll have to see how that derby goes. But yeah, it's a shame, Cardi, it is. But look, you can't. I agree with the pubs. I agree with the pubs. I mean, especially if it's a family-owned pub and it's your business, the last thing you want is a load of fellas coming in, tearing it up and like ruining your business for you. So, yeah, it's I completely agree, Cardi, but it's a shame, but you've got to keep people safe, haven't you? Named after the family, I mean, Stu Pat. Yes, yeah, no, I understand what you mean, dude. Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a very good piece of trivia, actually. I might steal that one off you, to use at I was going to say garden parties, actually, but yeah, seriously, can you imagine me at a garden party? I don't know why I've still got this on for, by the way. I might just keep it on to make myself look like one of them cool young people, which I'm not, by the way. I'm 46. Anyway, Better Call Hussein. I am aware of Better Call Hussein. Yes, I have. I have heard that word on one or two occasions. Yes. I won't repeat it, Hussein, but I don't know if you're roughly my age, but about 12, 13 years ago, linked in with that word that you've just said, there was a new phrase invented called, I don't know if you've heard this, but Docking, as in Docking. I'll just say in front of it there was another word for intergalactic. And I think this was a thing going on in the country at the time, and one of the lads had to explain to me what that meant, and it was yeah, it's pretty vile, to be completely honest. I think the if you think along the lines of I'm trying to think of a polite way of saying this. There was a thing that would have been viral nowadays involving two girls with a oh come on, there must be a word I can use of that's polite. Two girls in a pint glass. Anyway, moving swiftly on. There we go. Let's have a look. Cardi, big result for Port Vale. Absolutely, Cardi. Yeah, just say anyone that's just joined, I'll give you the FA Cup draw again. It is, for those who missed it. Oh, look. By the way, for those of you who don't like Arsenal and Chelsea, you will be triggered by this. Arsenal have Southampton away from home, and Chelsea managed to get Port Vale. Yes. Anyone who's interested, West Ham won, Brentford 0, Gerard Bowen, apparently. And then we've got obviously Manchester City away from home, so yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye Liverpool, and then the locals, Leeds United, which I live around the corner from. They've got the winner of West Ham and Brentford, so they'll be buzzing with that. I actually think Leeds might get to the semis. It's not because Leeds kind of my second team, because obviously a lot of the lads here are all mates, and genuinely I hope they do well. And I hope they stay up, because it is my hometown as well. So yeah. By the way, no questions about why I support Liverpool. It was John Barnes, basically. Anyway, I think actually, do you know what? I'll give my predictions. I think I really want to say Port Vale will beat Chelsea. Actually, honestly, I tell you what, I would actually swap our place. Well, would I swap our place? Well, no, probably not. But if Chelsea lost to Port Vale and Port Vale went to Wembley, that would be, oh my god, that would be so brilliant. I mean, I suppose it could work the other way around, whereby Southampton, Port Vale, and let's say West Ham get through along with Liverpool. West Ham get knocked out by Port Vale. Liverpool beat Southampton, and then Liverpool get Port Vale in the final and beat them 3-0, and Bob's your uncle would win the FA Cup. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen, is it? Yes, that is big result for Port Vale. Do you know what, Cardi? As a big fan of the FA Cup, I'm absolutely delighted for Port Vale, because a lot of clubs like Vale will look. I mean, obviously they're a professional football club at the end of the day, but they will rely on that FA Cup money, and I'm one of these. You've probably heard me before going on about this as an old man. I think that FA Cup replays being scrapped is an outrage and a disgrace, and I will not change my opinion on that. Swig of tea, by the way. Those of you who will point out Jurgen Klopp was one of the people. Yes, Jurgen Klopp was one of the people. And like I said, I'm one of these, I'm straight shooter. I completely disagree with the gaffer as well. I love Jurgen Klopp, and I agree with 90% of the things he's said. And he's a good, bloody good bloke, a top human being. On that, Jurgen Klopp is wrong. I don't agree with the cut replays being scrapped. I think it's absolutely disgraceful. And it's just, I mean, I include myself as a Liverpool fan. It's like, oh, but we need to give the Champions League club the best chance. It's like, no. What does that have to do with Port Vale or Gillingham or Plymouth or Northampton or Sheffield United or Chesterfield or whoever else, Wigan, and so on and so forth? What the F does our 5 Champions League competitors have to do with their football clubs? It's got bugger all to do with anything. And I say this as a Liverpool fan, and I stand on it. If Liverpool go out to Hull City, because they've changed a load of people and rotated because they've got a European Cup quarter-final, tough. End of discussion. It's not a debate for me as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Liverpool players of the 70s and 80s used to have to do that all the time. Crack on, get on with it. You're grown bloody men, for Christ's sake, and grown women that played football. You know what I mean? If you've got to go and pay a replay, well, tough luck, sunshine. You should have won the first bloody game. I have no sympathy whatsoever. And look, players, not safety, players, welfare and stuff. Yes, no, I do agree. There's too much football, but I mean, look, that is not fair on the lower division teams, and we wouldn't have the Premier League and English football as it is without the pyramid. There is no other place in this. I was going to say universe, but in Europe that has a pyramid like we do. We need to protect it, otherwise we will not get these young players coming through. And I know it's all academy based now, and I understand that, and that's fine. But like, look, we've got to protect the English football pyramid, and if you keep chipping away, if you start getting people taking the piss out of the League Cup, if you've got the FA Cup having the replays taken away, as I say, I think it's disgraceful. It's just more and more of our game just disappears. I mean, like that draw that I've just done with the headphones, I'm quite pleased with myself doing that, actually. I kind of look like a YouTuber, but just a fat one. That draw was on TNT Sports. I mean, when I was a kid, when I was a lad, basically every single draw was on BBC One. It would be like, who would it? It would be like Graham Kelly. They'd have like a load of grey old men basically, and there was none of this razzmatazz. They would just go straight to, I think it was the FA headquarters. There might be some older people who can corroborate me on this, and they would literally go to these two blokes, the semi-final, and they'll be like, Portsmouth play Liverpool, West Ham play Norwich. That concludes draw. Goodbye. And that was literally, they didn't say it in Yorkshire. I don't know why I've just said Yorkshire or something. But that was it, basically. That was it. There was none of this titting about base. I mean, the Champions League draw, I mean, I don't get me started on that. I mean, I honestly, I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. It is just absolute nonsense. Bloody Claudio Ranieri titting about for 3 hours, telling us about bloody, I don't know, the history of Cyprus for like 35 minutes, stalling for time. And it's just like, yeah, Claudio, that's lovely. Crack on and draw the balls. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think this is just a problem that I've got. Sorry, folks, I am ranting. I will read the comments in a minute, but like, I just get quite passionate about this sort of thing. I don't like to see the game being destroyed, and that's what's happening at the minute. Everything about it. I mean, the cost. I mean, there's local kids that can't even go to the local clubs now. If they're big clubs, obviously, because they just don't have the money. You've got the price of the replica shirts. I mean, I will be honest. How do I put this? This is not from JD Sports. I will just leave it that because I am sorry, but I'm not paying. I mean, someone told me the other day. I don't know if any of the young people can confirm this, but the equivalent, the Arsenal equivalent of this, their away strip. Is it? What's Arsenal's away strip? Is it yellow or something like that? I forget. But anyway, point is, one lad told me the other day that he saw the Arsenal away kit. Right. This is just the shirt, 100 sheets, 100 sheets for a football shirt. And I literally was just like, are you having a laugh? And he was like, Leon, mate, that's how much they all cost now. And I was like, get out of it. Because obviously I've not put football kits for. I usually buy my footy kits on online on eBay because I like the old school, like vintage ones anyway. So if you go on eBay, you can get Liverpool kits for like a tenner. I'd rather wear the old school ones. It's just that I like this one because of the green and everything. But yeah, so I did a bit of research. I was just like, bugger me, it costs a whole quid. This isn't the shirt or the football boots or anything. I started reckoning it up. So the shorts for this Arsenal kit were like 30 odd quid. Then the socks, I think, was something ridiculous, like 20 quid. And then it was something like, we recommend these football boots. And I was like, what is going on here? Recommended football boots. Anyway, I added all this up. And for a kid, if my son was an Arsenal fan, which frankly is not, me and my missus will be paying, I think it was 260 odd quid for a football kit. I mean, my son doesn't like football at all. He's a gamer and he has no interest. I mean, I was a bit gutted as a bloke, obviously, because I was like, oh, my son, what a disgrace. I'll tell you what, I'm actually quite glad he's not, to be completely honest. I mean, some of the fellas and the women out there, I mean, you have my sympathy. If you've got 2 or 3 kiddies, 250 quid. Anyway, look, the point is, It's yeah, sorry about that, folks, but like it's just not the game I remember at all. And it's yeah, it's pretty shit, but I mean, what can you do? It's progress, I suppose. Anyway, sorry, I've ranted long enough. I do apologise. No, it's shaped into a new thing. And Soy Jack. Yes, I remember that one. Joyce, as in Paul. Who did you draw? Arsenal go Southampton. Hi, George. We did not draw Southampton, sadly. We drew Manchester City away from home. So yes, uh, let us say a prayer for Liverpool's FA Cup journey this season. It started off so wonderfully. In fact, I saw the first. Funnily enough, I saw us in the FA Cup this year. It's the only match I've got to. I saw the Barnsley game. I don't know if anyone remembers where Sobbo took the ball off a Barnsley player, and I was actually in line with this, and he literally takes the ball, and then for some reason he stops in the penalty area and back heels it to the Barnsley player, and I'm sat there literally going, and you see all the Barnsley fans going absolutely mental in the background. I was like, no, that can't have just happened, surely. And it actually did. Dominic Szoboszlai backheeled it to a Barnsley defence. Just like, what are you doing, you absolute weapon? You know what I mean? But then he scored like a goal, and then yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, as I say, George, I just. No, I just can't see it being. If it had been Liverpool, Manchester City at Anfield, maybe, but I just can't see it. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think there's a remote chance of that happening. So, I mean, if you look at that draw, I mean, people have been saying about Man City and Arsenal quadruple. I mean, look, I mean, Arsenal. No offense to Southampton, Arsenal will be through. Chelsea will be through. Man City will be through, and then I'll just say Leeds because I'm a local boy. I mean, for argument's sake, let's say if Man City get Leeds and Arsenal get Chelsea, then it's Arsenal versus Man City in the final. I mean, I can't remember what side of the draw they're on actually. I think there's a chance here. If someone could have a look, just let us know. I think there's half a chance that Arsenal and Man City could play in three finals. Are they on the other side of the draw in the Champions League? If anyone knows, in fact, I'll have a quick look, see if I can find that. But yeah, I think you're talking. This could get to the stage where there's actually a straight shootout between Arsenal and Chelsea for all four competitions. By the way, can you imagine if Arsenal lost all four to Man City? Just throwing it out there. I would definitely be watching Arsenal fan TV, by the way. I would literally just put my headphones on and just do a live stream of their live stream, and I would just literally put. You can just imagine big flat bloke with a massive clown hanky, like crying, just falling over, laughing in the background. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Bastilam 6135. I'll call you Basti, mate. No, actually, in fact, no, that's I'll call you because I can't actually read that. Bastilam 6135. Hello, 6135. Liverpool or Everton? Yeah. Definitely the Eagles one. Although I haven't got a massive problem with Everton, but then again, I'm not a Scouser. You know, well, shocker. Yes, my Scouse accent has dissipated somewhat. Do you know any Scottish football teams? I do, Parker. Yes, I do. Got Hearts. You've got Hibernian, Kilmarnock, Raith Rovers. Some of the old people might get this. East 5-4, 4-5. By the way, if you're wondering what the hell I've just done, by the way, after you finish watching me, because I'm going to head off in a minute, guys, because I haven't actually even seen my missus and my son who are downstairs. Hi, folks, if you're watching, by the way. Many years ago, and there might be, Cardi might be able to back me up on this, actually. There was a match between East Fife and Forfar. And my old fella, who's no longer with us, sadly, he was driving his what's he have at the time? His Ford Mondeo. For those of you who are of my generation, he was very proud of that car, by the way. And he's driving along, and we're in I want to say we were in Wales or somewhere like that on holiday. God knows what it was. And my dad wasn't a big laugher at all. He was quite a stoic Ghanaian man, and he had a very dark, dry sense of humour, shall we say. And you know how they used to read the football scores out? With the old, I forget what his name, but he was the one that used to read it out. And they got to, I want to say it was the Scottish, the second division of Scotland, or something along those lines. And East Fife had been playing fourth. And my dad, it was one of the only times I've ever heard him belly laugh because the bloke said, East 5-4, 4-5. And my dad nearly crashed us into a bloody edge, but round the corner. Honestly, he was in the absolute state. My mum sat there going, what are you doing? You really just crashed. My dad literally is driving like this. Oh, 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 oh. I can't do a Ghanaian accent, but it's like, oh, that was very, very funny. I do like the English with their accents. It was just, that was a terrible Ghanaian impression. I do apologise. But yes, I don't know why I'm telling you about East Forth. Oh, yeah, so Raith Rovers, Kilty Hearts, Aberdeen, Rangers, Celtic, who else? Montrose, Ayr United, Dundee United, Dundee. Can I get them all? Probably not. East Forth and Forfar, Queen's Park. I'm missing some obvious ones here, aren't I? By the way, shout out to Motherwell. I know I don't want to offend anyone, but I actually would really like Motherwell to win the Scottish Premiership, just because it would just be insane. By the way, if not Hearts, it would just be nice if someone else would want it. But I'm sure there'll be a couple of people who would not want that. Basically, businesses will always try their luck and will always win because the straw that breaks the camel's back is always in favour because business consumer hardly push back. Fans always consumes. Yeah, I agree, Stu. Stu, I'm a contradictory arsehole at the end of the day. I don't help the problem. So I once a year is a treat, and I'm very lucky to do this because a lot of people never get to see Liverpool or never get to see these things. I once a year do hospitality at Anfield, and it won't be the most glamorous game, but I'll usually try and get to one that's about 100, 120 quid. So the Barnsley match, for example, I managed to get a ticket this year, which people were going to be going, what? It was like £115, and yes, that was to see Barnsley. Which back in the day I would have got a ticket. What category C game? Maybe 20 quid at the most, 25 quid. But nowadays for hospitality, that's good. And you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I do earn that money, and it's something that I treat myself to once a year. I'm actually going to go and see the Legends match soon. Because it's the only time I can go to Anfield, and it costs like 20 quid basically for the Legends match. But it's something that I've worked hard for, and that's what I'm going to spend money on basically. Each to their own. But yeah, so I'm exactly the same, Stu, and I make no apologies for it. I keep the funding going, but the trouble is, look, obviously all of us on this stream will be the same, but if I got told that I can't watch Liverpool again, it would absolutely devastate me. If you're a Gillingham fan, and you couldn't watch your club, it would devastate. I mean, look at what happened to Bury for. I mean, some of those people. I mean, there was that old fella. Literally, I think he died not long after, and he was literally in floods of tears, and he was just like little old fella. He's like, first game I ever watched was, I don't know. It was something random like 1937 or something. I mean, that's his whole life. You know what I mean? So this is why they know they've got us. The only thing we could ever do basically is band together as football clubs, football supporters, and recreate the league from scratch, and basically come up with hilarious names. So you know it's Liverpool, but you call yourself the Scarlet Scousers, or if it's Man United, the Mancunian Conjoinment. You probably have better names than I've just come out with, but the point is, you have like piss take names where everyone knows which team it is, but you just turn around to these big clubs and you're like, well, you can't prove it legally, so basically, that's the only way you could ever do it, Stu. But like, I mean, maybe all of us get together one day. I don't know, but like, until such time as every football fan across Europe and maybe beyond, especially in England, joins together and does that. I mean, they have us by the balls, basically. So there we go. I'll support Liverpool when you play City. Arsenal need the quadruple. Yes, George. Let's have a look. Stuart. Please be careful online. There is a lot of WD-40 now, making people all loose. Okie dokie. Thank you, Stuart, for that. Am I being stupid, making people all loose? You might have to explain that one, Stuart. I mean, to be fair to myself, I have just been to work before I've started this for nearly 12 hours. My brain is not exactly in joke working out wonderful condition, but there we go. Hey Riley, how you doing? You're all right, Riley. Predictions 26 said hi. Predictions 26. Yes guys, thanks everyone for watching. It's been really good. I am gonna have to run off in a second because I should go and see my son and my wife really, because I've basically they walked in. I told them I was doing a live stream. I said I'll be up here for like 10 minutes, and that was like nearly an hour ago, so I better disappear at some point. Just very quickly, folks. So the press conference. I didn't see the press conference, by the way. Alexis McAllister was the person who was being asked questions. Alexis McAllister on contract talks. Congratulations to Ryan. He's talking about Gravenberch. So I'm just reading this from the Liverpool Echo, basically. He was a big player when we won the league last season. We are not in contract talks, but we are not in a rush. Right. Okie dokie. Right. I mean, that's also not brilliant because I love Alexis McAllister. I would like them to sign him, please. So Richard Hughes and all that, please crack on and get on with it. Right. Yeah, I'm literally reading from the Echo, guys. So this is on the Liverpool Echo live feed if you want to look at it. But slot on Alisson and Chiesa. So again, this is the Liverpool Echo, just in case anyone says that I'm making it up from my own stream, which I'm not. Fede felt unwell last night. Again, bloody hell, crikey. Ali was in the session, but he felt something towards the end of the session. People looked at it and he decided it wasn't good enough to travel. There's definitely a chance for Sunday, which is the Spurs match, by the way, which I think I'm going out for. I'm not too sure. There's definitely a chance Sunday. It's not a big thing, but too much for tomorrow. Well, I mean, he said the same about Wirtz. He was out for 2 weeks. He's talked about how he admires Galatasaray, slot on Kirkes and Robertson. Sobo usually plays fullback for Sla. I don't know why he's put that for. Slot on right back conundrum. Looks like Slot's kicked off with a journalist, by the way. Have you been a manager? He said here. Well, all right, Arna, calm down. Let's have a look. Slot on 100th game. Slots has now been managed Liverpool 100 times. Slot on creating chances. Yeah, not a great deal like it. I'll have to rewatch it for it, but it looks like someone was on the wind up with Arna as well. I will have a look into that and I'll give you an update from Brentford as well, by the way, in a second. I'm just going to see if there's been any updates from the draw as well. And then I'm going to head off, guys, to be honest, because I've literally come from work, basically. Hey, Sultan, how you doing? You all right? Nice to see you, pal. Let's have a look. So, yes, top headline, folks, basically, before I head off. I'm just reading this from the Liverpool Echo again. Liverpool will head to Manchester City in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Blah, 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 blah. Arsenal go to Southampton. Chelsea host Port Vale, and the winners of West Ham versus Brentford will host Leeds United in basically the quarterfinals. Right, so the quarterfinal ties will be played across the weekend of the 4th of April. I think off the top of my head, that's the first game back after the international break, which also isn't ideal. To be, I mean, look, if Liverpool are in the Champions League and they're going for Champions League qualification, look, I mean, basically they'll have to sack the game off. To be quite honest, not sack it off because I love the FA Cup, but yeah, it's not a great reward. But look, I mean, basically at this point, if Liverpool want to do anything, I wrote about this in my Substack. If anyone wants to read it, by the way, it's Geek Boy Meta. on Substack. I write loads of Liverpool content and stuff, and I've got like communities on Reddit if you want to join any of them. Just search for Geek Boy Mets. But anyway, if Liverpool want to qualify for the Champions League, they are going to have to do something against Aston Villa, Chelsea, and Manchester United. Javid, you know my Uncle Jibby? Wow. Hello, Javid. Hi, you're all right. I hope that's not a reference to I think it is, by the way. Yeah, so they're going to have to do that. And in the Champions League, they're going to have to get past, what, PSG, Man City, or Real Madrid, and possibly one from Arsenal and Barcelona. And now they're going to have to get up past Manchester City, probably Chelsea, and probably play Arsenal in the final. So look, if Liverpool are going to do something, they're going to have to win big, basically. So crack on, lads, and get on with it, basically. Javid, you like Leeds United? Well, Javid, funnily enough, well, I'm a Liverpool fan, dude, but like I am literally, so I won't tell you where I live, but I am literally about a 20-minute walk away from Elon Road. So not the front of Elon Road, we're at the back of Elon Road where the near where the underpass is, basically. So back end of the stadium, we're that side, basically. So yeah, I don't support Leeds United, but basically I was born here, so like Mrs. supports Leeds United, and so does my mum. So I always keep an eye out for them. Genuinely, I hope they do well. Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to have to head off because I haven't even had anything to eat or see my son or see my wife. I literally came straight upstairs to do this, basically. So, right, cool. Just to make you guys aware, I'll be on tomorrow night, possibly after the Gala match. I'm hoping, because I usually go to the gym on Tuesdays, I'm hoping to see about 20 minutes of it after I've come back to the gym, so not all of it. And I'll probably do a live reaction from Leeds, basically, in the city centre. And if you saw it last week, you would have seen me going absolutely mental with the Reds in the Mandela Gardens and scaring some poor fellow with his wife half to death. So yeah, I'll be on tomorrow night. I might even take you into the pub, to be honest. That'll be quite fun. After that, I've got Monday Night Raw for the wrestling crew, because I also cover wrestling. That'll be at that's on Wednesday, 10:30. I'll be covering AEW on Thursday. The AEW tickets come out this weekend, by the way, I think, so I'm going to try and get the tickets for that as well. Like I said, I'm going to Liverpool versus Galatasaray, right? Liverpool versus Borussia Dortmund Legends game. What else? Let's have a look. It is 2-1 to West Ham at the minute, if anyone's interested, by the way. And then Friday is Toy Shorts Friday on the channel. Am I doing anything else on Friday? I don't think so. I may be going to Manchester this weekend to buy some toys, so there might be a vlog at some point over the weekend. And also for the AEW fan out there, I will be, what am I doing on Monday? Right, so it's AEW Revolution this weekend. It's on PLE. Unfortunately, I'm gutted. I can't watch it because basically I've run out of annual leave. There's an off chance I could watch it, but I'd say it's very, very unlikely, to say the least. If I can't, I'm basically going to do a live reaction to it on the Monday. So I'll be doing live reaction basically this time next week for AEW Revolution, because Revo's always a really good pay-per-view. And yeah, like I said, I'll be going to Anfield in about 3 weeks for the Legends. In fact, it's 2 weeks for that now, blimey. And there's loads of other cool stuff coming up on the channel. Also, as well, just very, very quickly, if you are an AEW fan, by the way, I've just done another Reddit community all about my girl Tekla, who one or two of you may know that I'm completely obsessed with. Not like that before any of the lads say anything. No, genuinely, I just think she's a absolute superstar. I haven't been this excited about a wrestler probably since Punk or maybe Becky Lynch. She is mustard, this girl, absolutely. If you've never seen her wrestle before, type in Tekla, Toxic Spider. Honestly, she is brilliant. Anyway, long story short, I've just done a Reddit community dedicated to Tekla, which actually, now I say it out loud, kind of sounds a bit sus, but it's not. You know, look, she's old enough to be my bloody daughter at the end of the day, but well, maybe not. But yeah. Anyway, long story short, if any of you guys want to join, there's I think if you just go on Geek Boy Meta on Reddit. I want to say it's Tekla fan page or something on the lines. But if you just type in Geek Boy Meta, my Tekla fan page will come up. So if you want to join that, you're more than welcome to. Anyway, cool. Right. Thanks everyone for watching. That was quite good, actually. I really enjoyed that. I did not enjoy the fact that Liverpool Football Club will be playing Manchester City Football Club on April the effing 4th. Yay. In fact, I think that might even be bank holiday weekend. That's not even funny, is it? In fact, it's Easter weekend, isn't it? Oh my good God almighty. Sigh. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. It's been very emotional. It's been very good. Shout out to everyone that's been on today. Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was good. And I will see you all after Galatasaray tomorrow. I might even see you in a public house somewhere in Leeds. Keep your eyes peeled. Right, take care, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye.